Major Championship for the first time in 2 years. And looking at 280. You have just seen a moment in darting prosperity. 2-5 to become world champ again. Pinder is gracious in defeat.
Taylor Painter, 8:30 tonight. What a match we've seen kicking off the day, though. The Aussie Geordie, Paul Nicholson, through. Still to come, the battle of the veterans, Dennis Priestley against John McGowan. And rounding off the afternoon's action, the wizard, Colin Osborne, against the speedmaster, Vincent van der Voort. What a performance, though, from Paul Nicholson. 1:21 out on the ball to put out the world number 6, Adrian Lewis. That is one happy Aussie. Or is he a Geordie? Whatever he wants to be, he can be after a performance like that. Well, you can smile after that, because that was simply amazing. It looked like you'd thrown the match away. He kept getting 180s for fun, and then eventually that 1-2-1 under so much pressure.
Yeah, well, in tie breaks, it's often known that if you've got the darts in the last set, that you have the upper hand, because if you can hold your throw and you're always attacking, you're not defending your throw. But having said that, in that last leg, I kind of knew I had to hit that 121. And I'd already hit it on the bull earlier in the game, so I felt quite confident with it, to be honest. But with the 8-8 that I missed 3 darts at that, the first dart was just so close on the way, and my dart was just angled a little bit. I didn't feel confident with the next 2 darts because I didn't think I could guide it past it, but that's obviously something I've got to work on. But if there's a better feeling than that in darts, I'd like to know. It's obviously winning the world title.
I was going to say, what sort of emotions do you go through? Do you feel your heart rate going up? Do you feel the adrenaline pumping through your veins throughout the match?
You do, and 99% of that is trying to keep your hands steady. I mean, you can cope with your heart going like 300 beats an hour, 300 beats a minute, sorry, but it's the fact that it makes your hands shake, and you've got to keep that under control, because when you're playing someone of Adrian Lewis's calibre, you know for a fact he's going to keep scoring and going to come at you and come at you. And I really thought I had the game in my hands. I let it go, and I got it back. It was very, very tough to do that.
You weren't just battling against a great player, you were battling against the crowd as well. There was a bit of banter going on between you and the crowd.
There was a bit. Down in the lower part of the right-hand side of the arena, there was a couple of guys shouting out a couple of things, which I won't repeat on live TV. But it kind of got under my collar a bit like the Grand Slam of darts last month. And I just thought to myself, you know what it is, at that point, if you want a bad boy, just bring it on. Because there's no way that I'm going to let these people stop me from what I want to do. So if they want to shout against me, against whoever it is, let them do it. Because I'm ready for it. It's
a massive learning curve for you, isn't it, this? The whole thing. I mean, playing in the biggest tournament around.
You really can't describe how much you learn up there. Especially in that last couple of sets, because when Bruce Spendley, the referee, was saying, you know, that you're playing the last 2 sets without a break, I thought to myself, you're going to have to win these last 2 sets. If I'm going to win them, I don't want a tiebreaker, because I'll be up there forever. But I'm just glad I came through it, because I was sweating, I was shivering at the end. I just thought, hit this 121 and get it done with, because the emotions really are elation, bit of relief, because obviously I had a chance to hit it earlier in the match. But now it's all over. I've got to digest it, and I've got to play tomorrow.
What were you doing this time last year? I mean, could you watch it on the internet or on telly in Australia, or were you working on the beach? You know, how's the year changed 12 months ago when you were in Australia?
Since Christmas last year, I worked for a huge company in Melbourne, and I was working on Christmas Eve. I was working on the 27th all the way through to New Year, so I didn't get much time off because I'd just been promoted. I was doing a very important job for the government there. So essentially, the wife would tell you, as soon as I got home, with the time difference, I was getting straight on the internet, watching Planet darts.tv, and I was like, who's won? I was keeping it in line with all of the Aussies and seeing how they were going. But, you know, to watch these darts, I mean, the quality of the game now is just, it's phenomenal. And, yeah, to be part of this is just insane.
From a young gun in Adrian Lewis, you've got a veteran next, whichever way you look at it, either Priestley or McGowan, the winner of our next match. Will you stick around and watch that? Will you go back to your hotel? How will you plan it now?
I think I'm going to need a couple of hours just to settle down. I'm a big fan of Dennis. I've been watching Dennis since the early 90s, and I'm a huge fan of his. So I'm going to stick around, probably sit in the back for a little bit, calm down, and come back and watch Dennis. I'm a big fan of John McGowan as well. I mean, what he does, I think he's 67.
67, yeah.
What he's done this year, obviously taking out Chris Mason in the first round and hitting a 9-darter earlier in the year, is just absolutely brilliant darts to see. I mean, it's very encouraging even for people of my age, because I could potentially play in darts for another 38 years, which is great. I don't think we can handle the pressure of all that. You put us through that every time. I might have a heart attack before I get that.
Hey, listen, that was fantastic. Really good. I think the match of the tournament so far, terrific entertainment. Two entertainers up next, Dennis Priestley, John McGowan combined.